I hope it's visible to all of you. This is the assignment we all put out. Okay. All right. The first question was write a brief description of all the following object types and data structures we've learned about. So we're talking in terms of Python, not normal numbers. Okay. So we can put in int, we can put in float, we can put in complex. They have a range. They are not ranging from minus infinity to infinity. I remember checking a notebook and someone had written that it's not that. It depends upon the memory. Okay, you guys would know about it in depth if you want to. Like when you go through DSA, data structure and algorithm, time complexity, and memory utilization, you'll get to know more about its feature and things related to memory and storage value there. Okay, like it has a range. It's not minus infinity to infinity as it is in normal maths. Okay, all right. Then there is strings. Strings are immutable. First of all, strings are a sequence which is enclosed inside of codes, be it single quote, double quote, triple quote, nth number of quote. Why we can use? Why should we be using double quotes or triple quotes? In case in our own sentence or in our own sequence there are single quotes, then it's preferable if we use double quotes. If there are double quotes in our sentence, it's preferable if we use triple quotes. How do we achieve triple quotes? We'll just put three single quotes. Okay, a pair of each three single quotes, and hence we achieve triple quotes. All right. Then we have list. List is an ordered sequence, and it can have any type of data present inside of it, and we can access that data by using the index value of a particular object inside of that list. Okay, the object's data type could be anything, be it list, dictionaries, numbers like int, float, complex, strings, sets, tuples, anything will work. Okay, and it has its own built-in functions like dot reverse, pop, push, etc., etc. Append. All right, these are all the functions. If you guys want to know each and every function present in list, present in strings, you can just open up the Python documentation. It's quite well maintained, and you can easily understand the concepts that they're trying to tell you about it. Like not all of the methods present in list or present in strings are used in our competitive coding or even normal coding, right? So we did not delve much into it. We just told you about the most used methods. If you want to know about the other methods also, I recommend going through it via documentation. If documentation seems a bit overwhelming to you, I'll suggest going for Geek for Geeks. Then there are W3 resources, and there's this one other website called something school something. You can visit those websites for the information. Then we have tuples. Tuples is also a ordered sequence, but it is immutable. Yeah, I said for list it's immutable, right? It's mutable. It's a editable basically. Let's stick with editable and non-editable. Okay, it's easier to remember than that. Okay, lists are editable, tuples are not editable. The thing with strings, list, and tuples, which is same, is the fact that the slicing, indexing thing works on tuples also, because tuples is also a ordered sequence. Hence, it works on tuples also. Whatever we want to obtain from a tuple, like I want to obtain a particular value at its index, I can obtain it by using slicing operations that we did in strings. See, strings and tuples both are immutable, right? Non-editable. Both of them are non-editable. Still, we can use slicing on strings. Similarly, we can use slicing on tuples. Okay. Then we have dictionary. What is it? It's an unordered mapping of keys to value. Okay, it's not an ordered sequence, hence that's why it cannot be sorted. There is no built-in function for dictionaries to sort. Okay, you can get the values of each key corresponding to each value corresponding to a key, but you cannot sort it. Okay, all right. Then next we have dictionaries. In dictionary, okay, yeah, dictionaries is done. Then we have sets. Sets is a sets is a sequence which is having unique elements. Okay, the elements cannot be repeated inside of a set. That's the most beneficiary part of a set. All right. Write an equation using multiplication, division, and exponent addition and subtraction that is equals to 1200.5. Most of you have done this question very well. Some of you, what you have done is you have done individual methods with it, like one equation with addition, one equation with multiplication. No, we are asking for a single equation combining all of these arithmetic operations to obtain 1200 and point. So I think this is not something that needs to be discussed. Okay, let's move on. Then it's what is the value of this expression? Okay, now why did we ask this question to you? See, the first equation is quite simple. We can easily see via the parenthesis that, okay, fine, 13 raised to the power 3 would happen first, then we'll add 19, then we'll multiply that sum to 10. Okay, sorry. Now, what confusion arises in these two equations? That was the point that we were trying to make. See, when we go through this equation, it says 10 into 13 raised to the power 3 plus 19. Are we supposed to multiply 10 to 13, then raise it to its power? Or are we supposed to raise it to its power first? Similarly, here, are we supposed to raise it to its power, then obtain this, then multiply it with this? Or are we supposed to raise the power first or multiply it? Okay, for doing that, you guys have given either direct answers by putting it into the calci, or you would have understood or not. I do not know that. So let me try this question. If I do it via mathematical means, I'll get 21 989. Okay, now if I run this code, what would I achieve? Okay, it gives me the same answer. So it simply tells you that whatever rule our normal maths follows, that's the same mathematical rule that Python follows. Like we have BODMAS in maths, right? Bracket, open, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. Okay, in that we so since we are getting the same answer as we are getting in our calculation, we can assume that it first raises it to its power, then multiplies the answer, then adds 19. Okay, does anyone has a question with that? Okay, then I'll move on. What is the type of the result of this expression? Since there's a decimal point present and there is no typecasting onto it, then the resultant would be a float. Okay, I hope that is understood. Now, cube root. Some of you have given the answer of cube here and cube root on the other side. Okay, so be clear with your math concepts as well as your Python concepts. Okay, cube root basically means 1 by 3. Any numbers raised to the power 1 by 3. If I do this, I should be getting 10, right? But I get a number closer to 10, 9.99. But if I typecast this number, I get 9. Why? When we are typecasting in Python, it does not see that 9.999 was closer to 10. Like it was very close to 10, right? No, it won't look for that. It'll just simply remove all of the points, all of the digits after the decimal number. Okay. So if you want to do this, it's better if you use the padding thing that we have taught you guys before in print formatting on the first lecture. Alright. Okay. Then for cube, it's simply raised to the power 3. Okay. Now next we have absque. One second. Okay. I hope the disturbance is less now. Then next we have print out queue using indexing. Now queue is here, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. So this becomes alright. Now reverse the string. Okay. Many of you have done this using slicing. That's the correct method. Okay. Now, if you'd be asked not to use slicing, how would you do? Okay. Create a. It's a lengthy method, but okay, fine. Let's try it. Okay. Say I'll create another string called as p, and I'll just say it's an empty string. Okay. Then I for I in S. This simply means I'll iterate over each letter in this word. I'll join it with P. And let's see what P becomes. One second. Sorry. The dot join method actually uses a iterable, like a tuple or a list or a string or something else would be used to join it. P is equals to P plus I. Right. For S in. This is just copying the string, but I want to reverse it. So I need to move it from the last index to the first. I have a function called it len s. Okay. I'll use the range function for it then. For I in range, len of s, comma, 0, p plus s of I. Okay. Anyways, I'll look into it and I'll send the code to you guys later about this. Another way of reversing a string using a for loop. Okay. Most of you were able to do these questions. Printing out t, here it will be minus 2. And if we are to print it out from another method, we have to calculate the value of t starting from the first a. Instead, we can do this also. Okay. All right. Then moving on to list. build this list. Most of you have done it, like some of you actually have done it correctly. We asked for two different methods of making a list, but some of you just gave two different variable names to the same list. That's not how it works. I can create a list, and many of you have done this mistake of using keywords as variable names. That is not allowed. Collab kinda lets it go, but it creates an issue back in the memory, which is a complex thing, which we don't completely understand about Collab. Okay, but if you would have done it in PyCharm or .py, Spider, VS Code, any other compiler, you would get an error for using the keyword name as the variable name. Okay, you can do this. 10 is appearing thrice only, so you get that. What else? No simple method of assigning. Some of you have just given created list one and written this thing in parentheses instead of square brackets. Okay, that would make it a tuple, not a list. Okay, all right. Then reassign abscutulate in the nested list to say cabotage. All right, it's pretty simple. I'll just replace it with C. Okay. The abscutulate the a words value is at the last, so I'll take a -1 here, and inside of that inner list also it's at the last. Okay, so I'll just assign it with a C. Then let's see the value of list 3. Then we have sort this list. There are two methods of sorting a list. One is using the built-in method. Before using the built-in method, let's use the function provided by Python for sorting out stuff. There is sorted method. Okay, what this does it sorts the list, but the original value of the list remains same. If I print out list right now, it would give me the same exact answer of this original list. Once again, see, the original value is retained. But if I do this, my original list changes its value. Okay. You need to make sure what kind of function or method you are using. Is it changing the original value, or is it providing or returning something? Okay. If you would look at this list 4 dot sort, it does not return anything. I'll assign it to something, and then I'll want to check the type of this variable. None type. It's basically a placeholder in a sense. Okay. It does not have any value. This simply tells list.sort is not returning anything. It's changing in place, but it's not returning anything. All right. Grab ascutulate. Pretty easy. One of you has done an indentation error here. Please make sure you do not do that error. Python only works on the basis of indentation itself. It does not have other such needs like semicolons and other things. So please make sure you keep care of the indentation part. All right. Then here, all right, and so on and so on. I suppose all of you were able to do this. We'll provide the. Should we provide a solution list also, like solution file also, or is this enough? I feel I'll just send this file itself. This will be updated in the drive itself, I think. All right. For this, how will we obtain that letter? A1. Then we have a list inside of which we have a dictionary. Inside of that dictionary, we have a list. Okay, and of that list, it's the first value. All right. Now here, let's see. Then there is a list. In the list, it's the last value. So I'll just do -1. In that list, it's the dictionary with key K2. In that, I have a list. On the second element of it, I have my dictionary, inside of which I have another list, last element, and the first element. -1, -1, -1. One second. Kevin, and from here, the last thing. Cool. You got this. Then K2. On K2, I have this. Okay. After K2, I have a dictionary. Okay. Sabotage. Alright, cabotage. In that, I have another list. Yeah, very good. Can we sort a dictionary or not? Why or why not? We cannot sort a dictionary. We can sort the dictionary's items by obtaining those items from d.items method, storing them in a list, then sorting them. Okay. Or we can store, like, or we can sort the keys by taking in the keys, assigning those keys, set key values in a list, making sure the mapping and the indexing is proper. If we want to retain another sorted dictionary, if we just want a sorted list of keys, we can obtain it quite easily. If we want a whole another dictionary with sorted keys or sorted items, it's another whole process. Okay. All right. Then there is tuples. Major difference between tuples and list: mutability. Tuples are immutable, lists are mutable. How do you create a tuple? You simply create a tuple using parentheses and separating set materials with commas. Alright, in this tuple, say I want to obtain the value of this letter G. Can I do this? I can do that. Okay. We will discuss it further in that special question thing. Okay. All right. Then we have sets. What is unique about set? The thing unique about sets is the fact that no other element is same as the previous one. All of the elements are different in set. Okay. Good. Many of you, what you did, some of you copied these whole values and assigned them to a set, or you it some had iterated through it or something. Okay, I can just assign it as this. As we know, there is dynamic typing available in Python. Why not make use of it? Yeah, this as simple as that. Some of you have done this also, but to those who haven't, I'm suggesting to look into this method also. Okay, we just wanted the unique elements present in that list file. We could have done this, right? Simple as that. Then these are the simple Boolean questions. I suppose I don't think I need to discuss these. Then moving on to the special questions. All right, one second. Yeah. Write a Python program to get a single string from two given strings separated by a space and that swap the first two characters of each. Okay. So basically, I'll get input as a string, and those that I'll have two inputs. I'll need to separate those inputs also. And what I have to do is swap the first two characters of each string. Many of you have done it correct by using these two sample strings and expected result. Uh, but it's talking about not doing it hard coded method. Okay. I think we haven't taught you guys about input, right? We spoke about print. That's how we tell the system or tell the user or tell anybody who is looking at a program what's the output of our program. But what if we want to feed in some data to our system? What do we use then? We use the input function. Okay. Str list. I'll create one variable str list and I'll take in the input. Okay. Now I'm taking in the input, and it's going to be a space separated to input, right? It's going to be given at a single time, but it's supposed to be two different data. So should I be using dot split method? What does dot split does? It separates the strings or the elements based on the parameter given inside of it. Okay. Before we do split, generally we should do strip. What strip does is it removes any excess amount of spaces like white spaces or tab spaces. If they would be present inside of a sentence, they would be removed, and then the split function would be easily able to separate it out, like separate out individual words. Okay. Now when I'll run this line, I'll need to input two strings that are to be separated by a single space. Okay. All right. Now I got the list in which I have the two strings. Okay. Fine. Now I'm supposed to swap those two. Okay. Now how do I do that? Let's create two variables an. I'll create it as an is equals to str list. Okay. 0 first element, and in that, no, I'll take the last element first because I have to put in the first two letters from there. All right. To get the first two letters, shouldn't I be just doing this, right? And then plus str list 0 till the end, from 2 till end. So this is it, and I'll copy the same. I just need to change in the initial indexing. Okay. Using f literals, I'll print out the value. New string values. Um, an, comma, bn. Right. Okay, let's try and run this first. Okay. Okay, I'll take two words. Um, Electronics, communication. The first two letters are swapped. Okay, and this is not at all hard coded. Hard coding basically means that whatever code we are writing, it's based on that particular case, and we're not taking into consideration any other case that could pose an error to our code. Okay. One more special thing about this input function in Python is that whatever input it will accept, it will consider it to be a string. You have to typecast it into another thing, then it will consider it as that. There is no such concept as inputting it as a list. You can give a n number thing in this input, like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, all separated by a space, all separated by a comma, or put in a parenthesis, put in a square bracket. It will all be accepted as a single string. Then you would need to perform another operations on it to get it and achieve it as whatever value you were hoping to get. Okay, if you get a multiple combination of numbers and you want each individual number to be stored in different variables, then you would need to process it like that. All right. Okay, fine. Then we have write a Python program to a specified list after removing the zeroth, fourth, and fifth element. All right. See, many of you, what you did was you started from the zeroth, fourth, and fifth element. Okay. You did not took into consideration if you will start removing from the base, then the index location would change. The index number would change. Consider list to be a simple stack. What is a stack? First and last out, right? The thing that would be on the base, if it's removed first, then the thing before it or after it would come at the zeroth location, right? Hence you cannot start removing elements from the last. Okay. All right. I'll consider taking another list. B is equals to input dot strip to remove any excess white spaces, then split. Okay. Then what am I supposed to remove? Zeroth, fourth, and fifth. So I'll remove 5, d dot pop 5, d dot pop 4, and b dot pop 0. Okay, and then I'll print in b. I'll put in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the zeroth place index location, 1 would be present. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. These three elements are supposed to be removed, which are not present in my final answer. Hence, it's correct. So, many of you have made a mistake here. You guys can go back to your assignment and check it out. Okay. Then we have write a Python program to sum all the items in a dictionary. You can create a dictionary of your choice. Alright, let's create a dictionary called as D. I'll name its keys as K1, 13, comma, K2, 14, comma, K3, 50. For I in can anyone tell me what would come after this? You can put it in the chat box. Come on, guys. Yep. D dot items. Okay, this is going to throw an error. Just tell me why will it throw an error? First and foremost, I'm trying to add something to the value of sum, but I have not initialized the value of sum. Okay, so it would be adding to garbage values first of all that. Then let's see, does it resolve it? It's not helping. So yeah, they think it's not working. What should I do? Any other suggestion from anyone? Item has keys and values, so try using X and Y. Okay, let's see my value of sum then. 42. That's correct. Alright. We did it via tuple unpacking, right? That's good, Aditi. At least someone understood something, I suppose. Okay, then let's move on to the next question. Write a Python program to replace last value of tuples in a list. Many of you answered this as it cannot be done as tuples are immutable and cannot be edited. Right? Well, that is in fact correct, but I'm not saying you have to edit that particular tuple itself. No, I'm just saying the original tuples are like this, create something else. I'm not restricting you guys from creating another list or another tuple. Alright. Okay. So I just need to replace the last element, right? So basically, this whole thing is a list. We can either do it using a for loop or we can do it using list comprehension. Okay. So I hope you guys are familiar and comfortable with list comprehension because many of you guys answered it in that fashion itself. So I was quite surprised for people to take it up so easily and so fast. Okay, all right then. Okay, should I type it out for you guys, or it's okay if I move on from this question? See, simple answer is this. Many of you have written that down, right? I'm happy either you found a good resource or you guys are really smart to do these list comprehension questions. That's it. Then we have find the minimum and L is not defined. Find the Python program to find the minimum and maximum value in a set. Set L is equals to uh, done. Max set L printed and print set L. Now, keep into consideration that when we talked about set, I told you that there are not many methods related to set, but here I am using max and min. These are not built-in methods of set. These are built-in functions of Python, which you can use with these kind of ordered list or sequences. Okay. Now, moving on for day 3 and day 4, I'll hand it over to Yashaswani. Please start.
So I have given a string here. String is you can code if you practice coding. Okay. So what I will be doing here is you can take the for loop, initialize a word, and as I want this string in list format. Like I can split this string to different words so that I can check it out for the first letters. Okay. So I'm splitting the string here with split function. Then I'm checking each of the words first letter with if word of zeroth index means if I'm giving the zeroth index means it will check all the first letters. Fine. So I'm giving if word of zero is equal to C. I'm checking whether the first word of the each first letter of the each word is C or not. If C, print the word. So first it will take this word. This function splits the whole sentence to words. Then it will take first word U. Then checks for the first index, that is Y, with C. If Y and C are equal, then it will print that word. Here Y and C is not equal, so it will not print U. Then coming to can. The C here the first word is C and we have to check it out with C. So I am getting can. In the same way, it will check for all the words here and we will get only the words that is starting from C. I hope this question is also clear to you. If any doubts, you can put it in the chat. And then using list comprehension to create a list of all the numbers between 1 and 30 that are divisible by 5. We have to check from 1 to 30 all the numbers, and those which are divisible by 5 we have to get those numbers as output, right? So using this simple one line code we can get this. We have to take x for to check that x is present in the range 1 to 31, or 0 to 31 is also fine. 0 to 31 because we want here 30, so I'm taking 31. Many of you have used only 1 to 30. Here when we use range the end value will not be considered, so you should use 31 here. Okay. So range 1 to 31, and the condition we have to give here, like if x modulo 5 is 0 0, that means it will check whether the number is divisible by 5 or not. It's not compulsory like you have to use it in one line, or you can use it like in two other lines also you can do it. Just for the simplicity we have used one line code. Okay. Then we will get all the divisible numbers by 5. Okay. Fine. Then go through the string below, and if the length of a word is more than 5 letters, print lengthy. What we have to do here is I have given a line of statement here. We have to check the each word length of the each word. Then if the length of the each word is more than 5, then we have to print lengthy in front of that letter. Okay. For that I'm using a for loop. Here again we have to split this sentence into each words. Okay. So I'm using split. Then for word in the string, for all the words in the string, if length of the word here, I'm using length function so that I will get the length of each word. Then we are checking that length of the each word is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, if the length of the word is greater than or equal to 5, we have to print word and in front of that lengthy. Fine. Else, if the word is less than length of 5, then we have to print word. I hope it's easy. So I'll get this output here. And the next one is write a program that prints integers from 1 to 30, but for multiples of 4, print fizz instead of the number, and for the multiples of 5, print buzz. For numbers which are multiples of both 4 and 5, print fizz buzz. Here we have to check the condition, like if it is divisible by 4 or divisible by 5, or it is divisible by both 5 or 4, right? So we can use, so you can here you can use for loop, and the range here you can use range function, like we have to get all the numbers from 1 to 30, right? So I'm taking it from 1 to 31. Then I'm checking for the condition whether it's divisible by both 5 or 4. Okay, for num modulo 400 and num modulo 5 equal to 0. Here what it does means, if it checks whether it is divisible by both 5 and 4. If it is divisible by both 5 and 4, I should get fizzbuzz. Then I'm using elif to get num square of 4 equal to 0. Fine. Is there any doubt? No, right? Okay, I'll continue. Yeah, we have to check for the condition, like number is divisible by 4 or not. I'm using this condition here. And then if it is divisible, we'll get the output as fizz. And then again, elif condition, it is divisible by 5, then we have to print buzz. Else, print number. Just simple as it is. We'll get all the numbers, and on the number which are multiple of 4 will be replaced with fizz, and 5 with buzz. And like you can see here, 20, it is divisible by both 4 and 5, so I'm getting fizz buzz here. Okay, I think it's clear. If you're not clear, if I have to explain it again, you can put in the chat, or you can just unmute and tell me. I'll explain it again. Okay, if you're not clear. Then the next question is, use a list comprehension to create a list of the first letters of every word in the string. Okay, I'm giving a line of statement. Do more of what makes you happy. Okay, we have to first split, as I have told, we have to split whole sentence into words. So I'm using a split function, and for loop word of if I'm using index 0 means I will get all the first letters, right? So I'm using index 0 here. Word of 0 for word in the string, I have split it, so I'll get all the first letters of the sentence in the list format. I hope it's clear. If you have any doubt in this assignment, you can put in the chat. I'll explain it again, or else I will move on to the next day assignment, that is day 4th assignment. Is there any doubt? Can I move on to the next day assignment? Last question. Okay. Yeah. We have to just make use of indexing here. If you want, I can share this answer script in the classroom. If you want, you can just type S in the chat box. I can share this answer script in the classroom. Okay, I'll share this answer script in the classroom. Okay, let me move on to the day 4 assignment. The first question is complete the list with missing letters using methods. Okay, I have given the letters from A, B, D, E. C is missing here, right? So I have to give C here. Many of you have used append method and all. If you use append method, then the C will be appended in the last, right? So I want it here after A and B. I want C after B, right? So we all should use insert method. I'm using insert method here. List dot insert at the index. We have to mention at what position you want to insert that element, right? So 0 1 at the position of 2. I want C. So I'm mentioning the index here and whatever I want to insert. So in this way, I can get complete list A B C D E, right? Okay, then write a function that computes the area of circle. Take radius r as argument. I had given the formula there, pi r square. You should not confuse. So I am given r as radius, r as argument. So you can take any other variable of your choice. It's not like if you want to take r itself. You can take any other name for radius and any other name for function. Okay, I'm just using area as name and r as argument here. Okay, I'm defining a function area and taking r as radius, and I want to get the result, the area, right? I should use pi r square as formula. So returning the value 3.14 multiply r square. I'm just getting the answer as I'm getting the answer here. Like I have to call the function, and inside the while calling the function as parameter, we have to give any value of your wish, so that I can we can calculate the area of the circle. So I'm giving 2 here for radius. This function takes 2 value as r, or 2 value for r. Then it will calculate this formula and we'll get the area of circle. Then moving on to the next question. Write a program to square the elements of a list using map function. We have to use map function to square the elements in the list. So I have initialized the list here 1 2 3 4. You can take any list, any elements inside the list, and I'm defining a function square, and I'm giving num as argument here. We should sorry. Okay, the function should return a square of that number, right? So I'm using num square here. This function will return the square of the number. Fine. And we have to map this list and this function together. So, so that the function takes all the iterable objects to get the result as square of those numbers. So I'm mapping here, mapping this square function and the list given here. Then I'm mapping and printing the list. So that I'm getting 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, and 4 square is 16. This is how map works. It will take all the iterable objects inside the function and we'll get the result. Fine. The next question is write a function using argument in argument to multiply any 5 numbers. Here many of you have got confused. Let me explain this argument. Like star args, whenever we use star here, as many you can give how much arguments you want to give, you can give here. Like it's not restricted to one or two or three, you can give as many as you want in the parameter passing, okay, while calling the function. So this is what star args does. So I'm defining a function and giving star args as argument, so that I can take as many elements inside it as I want. I have asked it for 5, so you can give it here 5 elements. Okay. So I'm initializing result, any variable you can initialize. I'm using result as res as variable and initializing it with 1. And for I in arguments, when I do this, it will take all the given elements into the arguments. Okay. So for I in arguments, result is equal to result into I. Okay, it will multiply all the numbers. This function multiplies all the numbers and will get print product, and the whatever the result I am getting here after multiplying all the numbers, I will get it here. So I'm getting 5940 as the product of all these numbers. I hope it's clear. Okay, fine. Next one is write a function that takes a list and returns a new list with unique elements of the first list. Like you can, as you have done in the assignment 1 or 2, like you can use set function also. But I have asked to write a function, so you can use this method also. Anything is fine, but this method is also a good method. Like you can look into it. I'm defining a function unique list and I'm passing argument as list. Okay. Then I'm initializing a empty list here, so that I can append the unique numbers from the given list. Okay. So I'm taking for a in the list, if a not in x, like x is empty list, right? Whenever it checks with this list, if the number is not in the list, like it will check for 1 now. 1 is not in this empty list, so the 1 is appended into the list. So next again it will go to the second one, checks for 1. 1 is already in the list, right? So it will not append again. Then it will check for 2. 2 is not in this empty list, so it will append 2. Then it will check for 4. 4 is not in the list, it will append. Then again it is when it is checking for 4, it is already in the list, right? So it will not append. In this way it will take only the unique elements from the list given. Okay, I hope it's clear. The next one is write a program using lambda function that checks whether a passed string is palindrome or not. Many of you are not aware of palindrome string. Palindrome means a palindrome word is a phrase or sequence that reads the same backward as forward. Like madam, if you are uh, pronouncing here from starting also it's madam, and from ending also it's madam. Same like Malayalam. Malayalam is same from both the ways, right? So I have to check whether the given string is palindrome or not. So for that I'm initializing a variable palindrome, and I'm using lambda function. So I'm passing argument s, and if s is equal to the reverse string. I hope you are familiar with the reversing the string, right? So this is the thing we have to use for reversing the string. So after reversing the string, whatever we will get is equal to the string we have inputted. We have to check this. If they are same, then I have to get the output as true, and if it's not same, I will get the output as false. So I'm here giving the string Malayalam, right? So Malayalam is a palindrome. Like before before reversing also same, after reversing also same. So I'm getting it as true. But when I'm using ABCD, ABCD is not same as the reversed. When we reverse this ABCD, we'll get EDCBA, right? It's not same. So I'm getting false as output. I hope it's clear. If you are not clear with any question, please tell me. Is this clear? Want anything to explain? Want me to anything to tell again or like that? You can tell me in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and ask me. And I will post this in classroom too, this answer script.
Hello everyone. Um, I hope you all are fine. So I wanted to clear all the doubts which you have from day 5, that is Git and GitHub. I'm hoping for many doubts because only 7 members have submitted the assignment. So if you have any doubt, if you are stuck somewhere or some commands are not working, then you can ask me. Explain Git config. Okay. Git config, if it is used to configure the, just a minute, I will share my screen. Just a minute. It is used to configure the Git. So Git config local dot name, and then you have to write your username, which you had given it in the GitHub. That username you have to put it. Like my GitHub username is Nitish Kumar 07. So I'm giving my, you have to put it in quotes. Okay. And uh, if you are uh, if you want, and then after that git config local user email, email which you have given to the GitHub, using which you have created your GitHub account, that username, that email you have to give email, then your email address. My email address is 7 at com. Okay, this is how you configure. You don't have to do it, but if you don't do it, then you always have to write your username when you will be pushing it. So to avoid it, uh, you have to configure the git. And did you guys understand how to make password? It is a new feature which was added last month. So if you have any doubts in that, did you understand the config, git config? Okay, then do you have any doubts? uh, you're welcome. Okay, and next is, I had forgotten one command, that is git init. Git init command is used to, you know, when we were doing, we got, we cloned it from the GitHub. So we had that, you know, get dot git file before only, because we cloned it. But to make a simple folder, like this is a simple folder, this one I have to make Git, because you know, 1 minute, if I do it like that is cd desktop and then simple, I went inside the folder. This is not a Git folder, because if I write something like git add space dot, it won't take, because it says not a Git repository. So to make it a Git repository, we use git init. Git init. Okay. So now it is Git repository. Now you can add something, or if there is no, see, there is a .git folder. Maybe you won't see it because that will be hidden. If you want to, see it, then you have to go to Viv and then uh, click on show hidden files. So any other doubts you have while doing? In the starting, you may get some error, so if you are getting any error, please ask. This is a new concept for everyone, so if you have any doubts, please do.
I think we can end this meeting. Thank you guys. Hope we were able to solve all your doubts. And if any other doubts are still pertaining to the previous topics, feel free to reach out in the WhatsApp groups. Okay. Thank you guys.